So, it's raining out here, but I have a handful of dirt. Now, let's see what happens if I just add water. It's already kind of muddy. Let's see what happens with really light water. Some of it is cooling, but the soil is actually absorbing a good bit of the water. Yep, now it's absorbed all of the water. So I'm going to add a little bit more energy. See, moving water is energy. So I'm going to add just a little bit more force. Oh, it happened. Okay, now it's spreading all over. Ooh, it looks like we've got a little pond. The force of the water through the actual dug into the soil and actually created little pools of water, right? Now, what happens if I create a little bit more energy, like an incline would? Now, I'm going to do it this way. So, see, the water moves. You can see how even within here it's changing the shape of the earth that was in there. So also there's some sediment in there with like I say, I got a little bit of debris, and that's rising to the top. So that's a basic. That's not just a basic experiment that you can do. You probably did this in the sandbox when you were kids, maybe, but you kind of see how the water flows. But I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna refill it. So now I made like a little bit of an incline in my soil, and I'm gonna add some water with some different pressure. Let's see what happens. Here's a kind of a light pressure. I'm just going to try to do it to the top of the mountain. You see it's kind of cooling. Now it's coming down. This energy is coming down the mountain. Okay. That's not too much. Not too much. Now let's try a little bit more. A little bit more pressure. No, not that much. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay. So it came down. It actually went a different route than I wanted it to, but let's see how unpredictable. I am going to add some rocks. So hold on. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I've got here. So I still have my little mountain that I created, and I added some rocks, strategically placed rocks at the top, right here, to see if I could keep the water from flowing that way. And I'm gonna see what happens. If you can't just tell in the video, but this is a little bit higher. And so let's see what happens. And then I also threw in some rocks of different sizes in the middle, as well as some random debris, grass cuttings, leaves that are smaller. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's start with a little bit of force. That's barely even a sprinkle. Oh my gosh. Even with that little bit of, I saw some of my rocks moving. And then I'm going to say, okay, let's increase the energy. What's happening? It's still coming around the rocks, but my pile of dirt at the front of this is moving, I'm just going to keep adding, see what happens. It moved my rocks, so it moved the rocks before it moved the soil. But it's starting to break down the front of my soil mountain, and there's actually a leaf right there that I did not receive. And then I see some of my debris is moving. And so I've made a little bit. Now I have like a little bit of a, let's say this is a flooded area. I have like a little pond at the top of my mountain, but the soil is absorbing it. You can see it's absorbing everything. So let's see what happens. So now I have, it looks like I have a beach actually. I have like a little lake. All my debris went into the lake, and then I kind of have like a, what it looks like a coastline right here. It's kind of gently sloping. All my water at the top of my mountain has evaporated. Wait, this is kind of fun. I'm just gonna leave this here and let's see if, now I don't think that the water, no, I think what's going on is that all the water, see, the water didn't go anywhere. All the water that I put in, even though all that water was absorbed into the soil, it hasn't evaporated yet. It's not hot enough. The sun's not even out right now for it to evaporate. It went into the soil, and that's running off into my lake. It's leaching into my lake. So, because this is plastic, that's probably as far as it's going to go. The only other way that this water could go out of here is through evaporation. So, that's my final product for this point. Okay, so we're back. I have the same, our little beach, lake area with my little pond up here, or my little mountain. So let's say up on this mountain there's some agriculture land, and the farmers are using pesticides. I am going to, let's say they're using, back in the day they used DDT, they just banned Roundup, I think, or glyphosate, I can never pronounce it correctly. But let's say they're using some of those herbicides and pesticides. I'm going to drop a little oil up here, and they're using all over the ground, and we're going to see. I have a couple of things I'm going to try. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Actually, this is oil, so let's just say this is oil from all their, this is gas and oil from all of the tractors and things that they use, you know, that gets leached into the soil. Let's do it that way. Let's see what happens. Now you can kind of, now I'm not sure we're going to be able to see it. I was hoping it would be, you can kind of see when oil and water mix, it's kind of iridescent. So I'm going to put a little bit, let's say it rains. What happens? You should be able to see, oh yeah, you can definitely tell. What happens to all that oil? Because you can see oil and water don't mix. So, it goes right into the pond with all the animals. All the newfound animals and plants that have discovered that spot since it's been created. And my pond up there is staying a little bit longer. Now let's say that this detergent, I have some detergent so you can see it. Let's say the detergent is the pesticides. Let's see what happens. Let's have a little rain. We'll try a little rain. Let's just show you what happens when a little rain happens. all that runs off of my little mountain pond into down the creek beds. It didn't even have to be a lot of rain or a lot of force. Looting. So all that animal life that called it home. And that is, so see, you can see where the suds, that's the pesticides. And you can still kind of see where the oil is, just down in here. And because it's hopefully, because this is real life, you would have some sort of flow, and it would still be flowing. But this is a stagnant pond right now. So there you have it.